God, I have so much to say. And I got to make my blood pressure go down a little bit before I start. I was at the last town council meeting when, I think it was Mr. Reilly, if I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, brought up Sunset Farms and how they did not go along with pulling a permit for whatever they put up. And I thought to myself, wow, how could they get away with not pulling a permit? You know, we pull a permit for everything. And I think it was Ms. Vignali said, well, you know what? I think maybe we'll use this as an educational opportunity. And I thought, educational opportunity? To teach the other residents that you really need to pull a permit? That's insulting. Of course you know you have to pull a permit. This is insulting. You're using it as an illustration. It's insulting. You don't think we know what a student is? Of course we do. Who's going to enforce this? It's not enforced now. The building permit's not enforced now. The students, how many kids live in a house is not enforced now. Going along and seeing how many bedrooms there are per house, that's not enforced. I have a guy that lives at the end of my street. He had 3 bedrooms. Oh, God, suddenly overnight he's got 6. I went to the tax records. He was paying taxes on 3 bedrooms. I wonder how many other people in town are getting away with that. That's terrible. We could be making money on that. I'm dumbfounded. I'm going to read a letter from a resident, and I could not have said it better myself. The ordinance you're discussing tonight, 3 to 5. This ordinance is not neutral. It's not minor, and it's not harmless. It directly increases the profitability of converting single-family homes into high-density student rentals. That is the outcome. Whether you say it that way publicly or not, that is what it does and what it will do. Any 3-bedroom house in Narragansett can be reconfigured internally to create additional bedrooms without expanding the footprint. At approximately $1,200 per bedroom, often funded through student financial aid that includes living expenses, the math is undeniable. Numbers don't lie. Homes become income machines, as they are now. Mortgages get paid with student loans. Neighborhoods become revenue streams. URI is not required to house all of its students. By expanding rental capacity in residential zones, this council effectively absorbs the responsibility on the town's behalf. Enrollment can grow. Tuition revenue can grow. Investor profits can grow. Meanwhile, the stability of year-round neighborhoods continues to erode. Do not frame this as an anti-student. And this person is saying she was a URI student. I was a URI student as well. Had a great education there, and I had fun there. I didn't live down the line, but I had fun there. Students are part of this community. What is not sustainable is unchecked concentration that transforms residential streets into de facto dormitories. Over the last decade, especially since COVID, properties are increasingly marketed based on projected rental yield, not livability for families. That shift did not happen by accident. It happened because the policy signaled that investor conversion is acceptable, even preferable. Please stop suggesting that alignment with state gives you no choice. That is not true. Local officials are elected to exercise independent judgment. If every directive is treated as binding without scrutiny, then the role of this town's council is reduced to rubber stamping. Residents have shown up. They have written. They have called you. They have asked repeatedly for balance in protection of neighborhood character. Ignoring that input while advancing policy that benefits investors sends a clear message about whose voices carry weight. If you vote for this ordinance, you are not maintaining the status quo. You are accelerating a structural shift away from family neighborhoods toward investor-driven rental density. That is a choice. Make it consciously and own it. You mentioned at the beginning of the meeting that your thoughts and prayers were with the Pawtucket families, the hockey families at Pawtucket. the tragedy that happened there. I hope your thoughts and prayers are geared towards this ordinance when you take a vote. Listen to your conscience.